when a narcissist starts to miss you. It may not seem like the narcissist misses you or even cares about you. They may appear cold, distant, unfriendly, unwelcoming. They may fail to notice, hear, or understand you. They may fail to attend or participate in activities with you, as though they're just unable to experience it, or as though they fail to take advantage of the opportunity. They typically avoid or escape. But do they ever feel regret or sadness at no longer being able to enjoy your presence? Do they ever yearn, ache, or long for you? Do they ever notice the loss or absence? Despite the common misconception, narcissists are actually able to miss you. They may not miss you as a person, but they will miss what you once provided to them. They will miss your supply. A narcissist's thought process is different from what most people experience. Their feelings are typically centered on their own needs, desires, and self-image, rather than genuine concern for the other person. They thrive on attention, validation, and admiration. So when they miss you, it's because they miss the supply you provided. They miss the emotional support, praise, or even the control they felt in the relationship. When a normal person misses someone, they will reach out to them. They will tell them that they miss them and that they would like to see them and talk to them. But when a narcissist misses you, they will not do that, because they do not miss you as a person. They miss the feelings they felt because of you. They miss your supply of attention, validation, and admiration. They miss provoking you. They miss your reactions. They miss the negativity that they were able to create in your life. They miss the power and control. But they lack the humility and modesty to openly admit that they miss you. Admitting that they miss you would mean showing vulnerability, which they equate with weakness, because they have a deep fear of losing control or of appearing dependent, so they will not express genuine emotions like longing or regret in a straightforward way, because they're protecting their ego, they're protecting their inflated sense of self, which makes it difficult for them to acknowledge that they need or miss someone. If they were to admit this, it would be a challenge to their self-image of being self-sufficient and superior. So instead, they may rationalize their feelings by blaming you for the situation or by minimizing your importance. They will not admit that they miss you, because then it would shift the power dynamics. It would make them feel exposed and inferior. So they will reframe the situation to maintain control, to make it seem like you should be the one missing them. They will display an exaggerated sense of pride, even if they feel lonely or if they regret losing you. Their pride will stop them from admitting it outright. Instead, they will engage in tactics like acting indifferent, trying to make you chase them, or replacing you with someone else to soothe their ego. They will rewrite the narrative to protect their fragile self-esteem. They will convince themselves that they don't really miss you, or that you're the one who lost something valuable. This mental defense mechanism allows them to avoid facing uncomfortable truths. They will not reach out to you because, despite their outward confidence, they are actually deeply afraid of rejection. They're terrified that if they were to tell you that they miss you, you might not care. So to avoid this risk, they will do something really weird and creepy. Instead of reaching out to you and seeking a meaningful reconnection, they will do the opposite. They will hoover you. They will notice your absence, but they will not connect with you directly. They will not talk to you, especially if they know that you see through them, because they have a personality disorder. So instead, they will use strategic methods to reach out to you. They will stalk you. They will try to make you come crawling back to them. so that they can present their beneficial or fortunate effects and shower you with their blessings of being with you and of accepting you again. Because their grandiosity acts as a barrier that prevents them from being vulnerable enough to reconnect with you in a genuine way. So instead of thinking about the things they miss about you and the things that are causing them pain, they think only of things that they can weaponize against you. They externalize their emotional pain and turn them into strategies they can use to regain control or punish you. They avoid emotional vulnerability. They turn their pain into anger or blame. They weaponize your weaknesses. They use emotional games to assert dominance, so that they can disguise their pain by maintaining their grandiose self-image, thus justifying their behaviour. And you may be none the wiser. You may not even realise that they're only doing this because they struggle to process genuine emotion. They lack the emotional tools to process pain in a healthy way, to where they view relationships as transactional rather than emotionally reciprocal. It all just becomes a game of winning or losing, and they do not want to lose. Which is why their relationships never work. Because they're rigid, inflexible, and yielding. They will not be moved or swayed. They will not give in. So their relationships are doomed to fail. Because you have to find the middle ground. You have to compromise. Without compromise, no relationship will ever work. But they only want you to compromise. They want you to ignore your pain and forget that they hurt you. They want you to pretend like nothing happened. They want you to play a sick and twisted game that only they can win, because they will not compromise on anything. Compromise requires traits that they lack, such as empathy, humility, and the ability to prioritize someone else's needs over their own. So they expect you to just let them walk all over you. They expect you to let them destroy you. And even once they've destroyed you, they will get mad if you complain. They don't miss you as a person. They miss the feelings they extracted from you. And that is what compels them to want to return to you. But really, all that they miss is chaos. All that they miss is having control over you. They miss the cycle of abuse that they kept repeating without changing. They miss torturing you. Which is why in some situations they will enforce their fly monkeys, because they don't have the humility to admit that they made mistakes or that they miss you. They have an exaggerated opinion of themselves, to where they got unable to compromise or to make the necessary changes. But they may try to contact you. It won't be upfront or direct. But if they see an opportunity to regain control or to get something that they want, they will reach out to you. They might send a message or call unexpectedly. They might use nostalgic phrases. They might feign vulnerability. And it may even seem affectionate or apologetic. But it is strategic and calculated. It is deliberate, premeditated, pre-planned, preconceived. It is intended to have a particular effect on you. They will test the waters. They will subtly probe to see if you're still open to engaging with them. They might react to your social media posts or like old photos. They might send vague or casual messages. They might ask mutual friends about you to gauge your emotional state. If they believe they can pull you back, they might engage in love bombing, where they may shower you with affection, attention, or gifts. Or they will try to appeal to your empathy by portraying themselves as the victim. They might even tell you that they're lonely or that they're struggling without you. It's designed to manipulate your emotions and lower your defenses, so that you open up to them again, and then they can suck you back into their orbit. They will use silent treatment or indirect provocation. If they feel hurt or rejected, they will avoid direct communication, and instead they will post cryptic or emotional content on social media aimed at catching your attention. They will try to make you jealous by flaunting their happiness or new relationships. They will make attempts to trigger you instead of reaching out with kind words. They will provoke you to get a reaction. They will bring up past arguments. They will send messages designed to guilt trip you or blame you. They will accuse you of being the reason for the relationship's failure. But one thing they won't do is behave normally, because they struggle with vulnerability and empathy, which is why their relationships tend to be transactional and manipulative, rather than straightforward and sincere. But even in rare cases where they do appear to reach out like a normal person, it's likely to serve their own interests, not yours. So it will still be a part of their strategy to get you to bow down to their ego, because they have deep-seated psychological and emotional wounds that shape their personality. At the core of their behaviour is a fragile sense of self-worth, marked by an exaggerated sense of superiority. They have an unstable sense of self. They feel deeply inadequate and insecure. To compensate for their resilient fragility, they construct a facade of superiority. But for this facade to hold, they need constant validation from you. When you bow down to their ego, it reassures them that they are important, powerful and worthy. But beneath this facade is a fear of vulnerability. They fear vulnerability because it exposes their perceived weaknesses, which is why they view relationships as a competition, where being vulnerable means losing. But by making you submit to their ego, they ensure they remain in control, to where they can avoid the discomfort of emotional exposure or rejection, which is something they do not want to experience. They struggle to process feelings of shame, rejection or failure. When their ego is bruised, they lash out or manipulate you to restore their emotional equilibrium. Forcing you to bow down to their ego helps them regain that balance, which is necessary for them because they are emotionally unstable. They have unresolved trauma such as neglect, criticism, or emotional invalidation during childhood. These experiences have created a deep fear of being unworthy or unloved, so to protect themselves they project an image of invincibility and focus on making you feel inferior. This deflection helps them avoid confronting their own pain, to where they will engage in black and white thinking. They will view people in situations at extremes, where you're either with them or against them, a winner or a loser. Because for them, compromise or equality feels like a threat to their superiority. By making you bow down to their ego, they reinforce the idea that they are above you. They are in survival mode. Their self-worth is so fragile that even minor challenges can feel catastrophic. Forcing you to submit temporarily silences their internal doubts and reassures them that their constructed persona is real. Narcissists are not real people. They are predators, and their actions are dehumanizing. They prioritize their own needs, power and control above anything else, and at the expense of your emotional and psychological well-being. Their predatory behaviour arises from their deep insecurities, their ability to empathise, and their relentless need for validation, to where they will use charm as a tool, and they will exploit you for their own personal gain, because they have a hunger for power and control. At the root of their actions is a scared, insecure person, trying to avoid the pain of vulnerability and rejection. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Share your thoughts in the comment section. Hit the subscribe button to receive the notifications. If you would like to support the channel, you can donate at paypal.me/Narc Survivor. You can book a one-on-one with me on my website, It's narcsurvivor.co.uk. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.